Good morning and welcome to Veterans Heartbeat on the Pulse of the Veteran, where we discuss issues of health, happiness, opportunity, and well-being of interest to the veteran community, their families, and the community who honors them.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Veterans Heartbeat, brought to you by River, the Rural Institute for Veterans Education and Research. My name is Jason Zencraft. My co-host Ed Lisofsky is here with me, and he is the Executive Director of River. We welcome you to a weekly wide-ranging discussion of issues, events, opportunities, and needs in our veteran community. Morning, Ed. How you doing?
Morning, Jason.
We'd also like to thank our sponsor, Farside Signs. They create amazing-looking vehicle graphics that will drive traffic to your business. Follow them on the web, Instagram, and Facebook, or just stop on by.
Good morning. This morning, we're going to be talking to a lot of the former River people and the current River people, and they'll be popping in and out, giving their thanks for the Thanksgiving and talking about the holidays. So we're starting out with Darren Colson and John Strong. Good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. It's a good, nice, cool day in Montana.
Well, we have had some issues this year with River, but it looks like we're getting things straightened out.
Right.
So let's talk about what you guys are thankful for. John, I know we don't have a lot of time with you this morning. Why don't you tell me what you're thankful for?
Yeah, thanks, Ed. I think the thing, I put a lot of thought into this last night, and I had a lot of answers, but it all came down to the thing I'm most thankful for is that I have the ability to choose what I want to do and the freedom to do that. And I think that's pretty powerful, whether it's where I live, what job I want, that sort of thing. So, yeah, that's what I'm thankful for. Nice.
Okay. I know you were a part of River, not only a student, but you also did some teaching. How did the River program help you?
Yeah, the first way it helped me is that in the transition, between the Army to civilian life, I did the recreational therapy course, and that was just really helpful for me to transition, to find some coping mechanisms, that sort of thing. And then, from the teaching standpoint, it really helped me in being able to reach out to other veterans and help them in some way that I could.
Well, I just heard the bell ring. Who jumped in to talk about Thanksgiving here?
Good morning. This is Tracy and Janet from Marion.
Well, John, I don't know if you listened to last Saturday's episode, but we announced that River is selling off the education portion to a school called St. George that was formed by a lot of the education, well, I'll let them explain it, but it's also going to be... I was going to say nerd, but hey, I know you, Janet.
Nerdy consultant.
I love it. Nice.
Anyway, it's also going to be aligned with the University out of Wisconsin, run by the Sisters of St. Agnes, Marion University. So good morning, Janet and Tracy.
Good morning.
Now, Tracy is the one that has been working with me to align what we've been teaching to getting course credits for a degree over at Marion. Is that correct, Tracy?
That is correct.
So does it look like we got anything that you can bring in for course credits?
And the first goes through the psych department and the Community Health and Human Services Department has found 9 course credits so far. And then I just sent you an email. They need a little bit more information on a few more classes, so we think that there's certainly more credit to be had in there.
So that's good news. The people that have gone through the courses will be getting some college credits out of the deal. So there you go.
Nice. That's the thing to be thankful for right there. That's awesome.
Dan, why don't you get talking about this a little bit?
What I'm thankful for, just like what John was saying, what I really I'm thankful for is just in the past year or so, or even through River, through my business, through all sorts of stuff, just the people I've met. I've met some incredible people, and I've just been so thankful for the folks that have been brought into my life. And then I'm absolutely so excited about that. As far as River specifically, I love the fact that it got me out of the house is what it did. I got so down in the weeds trying to build a business, trying to do stuff that I forgot that, my family's there. I got other people that are in the struggle, and there's other people and other things out there. So it was something that got me out, got me seeing that there's other things besides just putting my head down and working, and it really helped me out.
Well, somebody just joined us, right? I heard the bell.
Yeah, hello, guys. This is Brady.
Oh, we got Brady. So, Brady, we have the two Marian University faculty on the phone with us also. And they just announced 9 credits for the program. But you were able to get into the program because we were not taking students at the time that you tried to get in, correct?
Yeah, so I had sought River out this past spring-ish, and yeah, that was the case.
So, what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving? And then I'm going to hit the ladies.
I think one of the biggest things I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving is the love and support of my family and friends. Looking back over this past year, it's been absolutely instrumental in having that support group, going through the struggles of being a small business owner and trying to start up new businesses, and at the same time, I might have heard Dan touch on it a little bit. You're so focused in the work and what you're doing that sometimes you forget about the most important thing, which are those people around you. And being able to really narrow back in and focus on that is what I'm really thankful for this Thanksgiving.
Well, I'm going to move over to Tracy. Tracy, what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving?
Thankful for this Thanksgiving. Let's see. I'm thankful definitely for new opportunities and new people that I'm meeting through River. This has been a great, I'm really, really anxious to get moving on this even more actively. In a kind of practical locational sense, I'm glad that there's no snow on the ground.
No, we're going to have to wait till Friday for the snow.
Well, Janet, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for the opportunity to work with St. George Votech, and I'm just so grateful. Last year, I was out in Missoula, and I got to go with a bunch of you guys to go cut Christmas trees. And it was a great experience. And so, I'm grateful for the connection Marian has been able to make with River and with St. George and all you new folks that I haven't gotten a chance to know.
Let's talk about some of the things that you've experienced with River, Janet. I know you've been with River for a few years now in the background.
Yeah.
And you've been a very instrumental person in making sure that the program had a good education piece to it. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, I've worked from a distance as a consultant, and I think it's important that River has been able to offer the kind of support structure that it has, because it's really important. If you're not feeling very confident about going to college or going to school or taking classes, it's nice to have a support structure that helps you get through it. And so I think that's been one of the things that I've been encouraging River to do.
Who just joined us?
Hey, this is BJ. How's it going, bud?
Hey, BJ. So we've got BJ Houchin just joined us. We just got an announcement from Marian University. Tracy's gone through all of our courses, and they found 9 credits that they can give to the students that have gone through our courses.
Oh, wow. And that's just the beginning. We haven't gone through everything yet.
So,
holy smokes.
BJ works over in Sydney. He was one of our outreach coordinators.
Okay.
BJ's got a Purple Heart.
Wow.
And we really wonder if you do have a heart. You know that, BJ?
Oh, come on. You know I do, Ed.
Anyway, we've been talking about what we're thankful for, BJ. Why don't you go ahead and explain what you're kind of thankful for?
I was actually thinking about this the other day when I was at work. I have a part-time job in the oil field. In a military standpoint, the things that I was very thankful for is the guys that I got to serve with, and I'm really thankful, of course, for my family and my little daughters, and being able to help veterans. I'm very thankful for that, and that means that you gave me the opportunity, so I'm very thankful I met a guy like you.
Well, we're carrying it forward, and Marion's picking it up. And we don't know what that's going to look like, do we, Janet?
No, we don't know what it's going to look like yet. We want to bring together a number of bachelor-level programs that are delivered online. But what's really important is also to continue the kind of support structure that River has provided through St. George. We don't even know what that's going to look like yet. But we're going to kind of make this up as we go along and try to create a model. And you guys can really help us do that by helping us to understand what your needs are. Our mission at Marian University has always been to people, individuals who have never had anyone in their family go to college. That's not been part of their family traditions or their culture. So our mission is to help people that are a little bit nervous about college to be successful.
Okay, that's cool.
Well, one of the things that I was kind of excited about, Maureen, who's not on the phone today, but she had talked about this a little bit last time, was how college, you start out broad and then you go narrow, versus VOTEC training, you go narrow, and with technical, you go a little bit wide, but not really. And so what we're trying to do here is reverse the model somewhat to where you start out with your college in areas that you have interest, and you broaden that out. So you're not jumping in and going, oh my God, I got to learn all this stuff that I learned in high school, and I don't have any hook to keep me going. So that was exciting. The other thing that I'm really kind of happy about is it's not only non-college credits, but those can be applied through prior learning. And that's what we've been working with Marion. The other thing, Dan, you can address this pretty closely with me. We've had a number of students that have come over to River from another university. I'm not naming names, but they've been put to the back of the room, called baby killers and stuff like that in class. Am I right on that, Dan?
It's a problem.
So this is another opportunity for veterans to get the support they need. At the same time, we'll be working with a university that is regionally accredited, has the same goals as River to bring these students into a college degree, which, Janet and Tracy, am I correct? That's pretty much almost becoming a high school diploma for job employment, isn't it?
In a lot of senses, yes. A bachelor's degree is a kind of entry-level thing these days.
It's often the minimum requirement for a lot of employment opportunity.
And that's kind of where we got in trouble with River as we were doing vocational training, teaching. At some point, some of the classes were at a master's level, and we didn't have the support structure underneath us.
Yep. I could see, Ed, that as part of the support people to have these kinds of phone calls on a regular basis, so that, to kind of check in, to be available. A lot of us will be available by telephone to help students, figure some things out around writing and around being successful in coursework.
Yeah, Janet, don't get me started on the writing.
I won't. But it's a skill anybody can learn. It just takes time and it takes practice.
Yeah, some wretched person, name unknown, got me into my doctorate of clinical psychology. I am writing my butt off.
Yep.
Anyway, so that's some of the things. Now, Dan, you and BJ, you actually ran a bunch of the outline courses. What was it like to have, we've talked a lot about this on River, 26,000 veterans in Montana are not enrolled in the VA. What was it like to get into the weeds with these guys and bring them out and get them connected to services?
Well, with one of the veterans I first met over here, I'm on the eastern part of the state, and just, what I mean? And all it took was, what I mean? One thing all we have to do is really show these guys that there's veterans out here, and there's things that they can do to get help. And I've heard nothing, but I haven't talked to Cy in about 2 months, which, that's a good thing. And I hear from the community and his relatives that he's doing absolutely amazing. It was great to be able to have the chance to be able to reach out to these veterans and just give them just a little bit of help, and that's all it really took.
Yeah, for me, what I saw was what I was really impressed by is, the issue was the lack of trust at first, but then when you got them to come in and they saw other veterans, and it wasn't like you were coming in to see a doctor who's going to judge you, or you're going to see someone who's going to look at you with a suspicious eye. It was you're coming in to some fellow veterans. They're there to all help each other. As something as simple as even in the middle of the week having a game night, they just started to build a relationship with each other, that when someone had an issue, you could just talk to each other based on what you learned in the courses and help each other out. And that's what I saw when people came out and we started getting together and being together. We were a support system for each other.
Well, we've got all the recreational gear. We plan on continuing on with that. Tracy, do you see ways that we can offer non-degree programming in the recreational field? Or can we add that?
I think so. We were actually, when I was talking to the provost about the potential for partnership, he was looking through the curriculum with me, and recreational therapy is something that we had entertained bringing in as a bachelor's level degree path here at Marion, maybe last year. And it's not, it's a front line, but it's certainly something that has the potential to translate into a bachelor's degree pretty handily. So it's just we have a couple of different degree paths that I think would line up pretty nicely with your existing curriculum in the public service arena.
And the community service.
Yeah.
Community health and human services lines very nicely with the community EMT and also the recreational therapy stuff.
Well, you guys, Brady, are you still there?
I'm still here, Ed.
So you saw the recreational program. You saw what it was doing as an outsider veteran. What do you think of the importance of what we were trying to do with those programs?
Well, I think it's incredibly important. Coming from an outside perspective, like you said, I've never been involved officially through the program, but I had gone and visited several of the events through my involvement, and I think it's absolutely important. There's not, in my personal experience, the majority of veterans don't want to just go and engage in a very formal education-based topic. They want to get out and do things that they're interested in, i.e. recreational stuff or activities that they can get out and do things that they're familiar with fellow veterans that they can relate with.
Okay. And that might actually lend itself to a kind of dual enrollment situation where they're doing both at the same time. Because, unfortunately, we do have to make everybody right. I'm an art historian, so I make people write about art. I'm just one of those people. But if they're doing that kind of in complement to more active things, it makes it a better blend, I think, in general. And that's how we try to go about a lot of our more vocational degrees, is that it is a blend. And we get that. I'm a liberal arts person, so I live, eat, and breathe it, but not everybody is, and we have to understand that, and we do.
And our mission has always been to get students and graduates the skills that they need to get employed.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you hearing here, Brady? Is this something that you would be interested in?
Yeah, that's something I'd love to be interested in. Being able to combine all those aspects that we've been talking about would be really helpful.
Well, the thing about it is we've got to find some skills in the vocational arena and move them forward. Because just because you take a welding class doesn't mean you're not going to run a business. And even if you work for a business, if you have the skill set to run a business, you know what that business is looking for. So by combining skill sets of running a business in the vocational, to me that's a no-brainer. I don't know. Comments, anybody?
And I honestly think, Ed, when I look at your curriculum and the fact that your demographic is veterans who are coming in with built-in credit from their joint services transcripts, everybody will have some kind of gen ed credit that comes in. So most people come in with some history classes. So they'll have some of that stuff already done when they come in. And I heard somebody say that they run a small business. That's something that we would be able to look at as a credit for prior learning assessment for a class like small business and entrepreneurial management. So there's all kinds of opportunities to transition your life experience into, towards your degree path.
So I'm going to start with Brady, and then I'm going to ask the other vets, how important do you think a bachelor's degree is to you? And the second key to that question is, what is preventing you from actually getting it? Or what do you think?
Well, speaking from my own personal... Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you've got one, what do you think is preventing other vets from getting it?
Well, I would just say in my personal experience, so I'm one semester away from a bachelor's degree in finance, and during I guess we'll call it my junior year, I started my own business, in a sense branched off to work with other people, but I think what persuaded me to not go back, at least for the time being, is there's only a handful of classes that I found very relatable and things that I could take actionable steps out of, i.e. like accounting classes or personal finance classes, a couple of marketing courses. But I think what dissuaded me initially, because I didn't start my degree right away, was all of the filler classes that would be required for a bachelor's degree. So after what I've learned now, I would be more inclined to take shorter courses on relevant topics. So if I wanted to take like a crash course in, managing finances for business, I would rather take one or two classes specifically related to that rather than try to bundle it up into a bachelor's degree. If I could fast course like an associate for a 2 or 1 year program that goes really far in depth on something rather than just a big overview, that would be more appealing to me, and I would say that's why I haven't gone back and placed so much emphasis on getting the actual paper degree.
Well, it's time for a wrap-up, so I'm going to go around the room and everybody gets a minute to quickly say their piece. So let's start with BJ.
Okay, yeah. Well, I want to say I'm thankful for everything you guys have been able to help me with that, and you guys have a great and wonderful Thanksgiving, and I will probably talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, next we have Dan.
Thank you so much. River's done a lot for me. I love where it's going. thank you for all the hard work everyone's putting into this, and happy Thanksgiving.
All right, Brady.
I just wanted to say thank you for all of the hard work and stuff that you guys are doing for veterans, and just reiterate how thankful I am for my family and my support group, many of whom are on this call today. And wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving, and look forward to talking with all you guys soon.
Tracy.
Thank you very much for inviting us to join you, and it was great to talk to everybody and hear different perspectives.
Janet.
I'm grateful for everyone's service in the military. I wouldn't be free without it, and really appreciate being part of this call.
Thanks, guys.
So thank you very much for listening to Veterans Heartbeat. We'd not be able to bring it to you without all the support of the listeners. And thank you again to Farside Signs for sponsoring the show. If you do need a unique vehicle design, swing on by and check them out. Also, thank you to our main sponsor, River. River has an array of services such as veterans-focused education, a vestibular disorder clinic, and now non-pharmaceutical treatments for pain, anxiety, and depression. Check them out on Facebook or on the web at riverofchange.org. Lastly, we'd like to show our appreciation to all of our veterans. Thank you for serving our country and keeping it safe.